Hello guys, welcome to our channel. Today we are going to install Oracle Linux R7 U9 in Oracle VirtualBox. So I downloaded my ISO here, this one, and this is the website, yum.oracle.com, Oracle Linux ISOs.html, and then Oracle VirtualBox I downloaded on this website, and I'm using the one for Windows, and the latest version is 7.2.4 as of recording. And then I'm also using Patty, and this is the one that I'm using. I already installed the Oracle VirtualBox Manager previously. So we're now going to install an operating system. And I also created this folder in my drive D, VM, and then OL7. I'm going to use this one. Hold on. Let me just delete and then create a new one. OL7. Okay, so click new. For the VM name, I'll just name it OL7. And then for the folder, you can just select it. Select folder. And for the ISO image, I already downloaded mine here in this location. And then uncheck the proceed with unattended installation. So we're not going to update anything here. Next step is to click the virtual hardware. We're going to use 8192. So 8 GB. By the way, if you're going to use 8 GB, your host machine should like have 12 to 16 GB of memory. For the CPU, we'll just use one virtual hard disk. We can put 100 here. And the name is OL7.VDI. Make sure that the pre-allocated full size is not checked. And then click finished. After that, click the settings. So for the general, we can see the VM name and the other informations. Click features. We can select bi-directional here in the shared clipboard and drag and drop. System 8 GB. I can uncheck the floppy and move the optical and hard disk up. Display should be fine. Storage. This one will work. In my case, I will add two hard disks, one for the data and one for the recovery files, because we'll install an Oracle database on this operating system. So what I'm going to do is add hard disk. You can also do this, like for example, you are going to install an application in this operating system. So click create. I can name this data 100, finished, and then create another one for the FRA fast recovery area. Okay, then finish, and then select this one, choose, and then add another one, select the FRA. Then as you guys can see, all the hard disks are now added. Audio should be fine. For the network, the NAT, we are going to use this one to connect to the internet. So this is the default one. Adapter 2, I will enable this one, and then attach to host only adapter. And then this should be fine. So network, serial ports is okay. USB shared folder. Shared folders, we're going to add my installer folder. This is the one that I'm using. So select this one, folder name installer. I'll just use the same mount point name, and then I will click the auto mount. So if I restart the operating system, it will be automatically mounted. Okay. So after that, we can now click yes. Okay, I mean click OK, and we should be good to go. Let's start it now. By the way, the host only adapter, we're going to use that for VM to host connection. And then our installer files, we are going to put that in our folder, installer folder. So it will be visible in our operating system. For this one, you can test the media and then install the Oracle Linux 7.9 or just go ahead and select the install Oracle Linux 7.9. Okay, so just a quick summary of what we already did. Previously, we downloaded and installed the Oracle VirtualBox. We downloaded the Oracle Linux OS ISO, and then we created a new virtual machine with 8 GB RAM, one processor, 100 GB disk, and then I also added two more disks in my case. And then for the network, we're using two adapters, not for the internet host, only for VM to host connections, and we also added a shared folder. So the first thing that we're going to see is this one. Select the language, so English, continue. And then for this one, date and time, just choose your time zone, then click done. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to check is the software selection. The default one is the minimal install. This is good, especially for those who want to have real life experience in Linux servers, because mostly the real life Linux servers, they don't have any GUI. But in our case, we're going to select the server with GUI. And then for the add-ons, we're going to select performance tool, and then compatibility libraries and development tools, and then click done. Okay, so after that, go to the system and then installation destination. Here we can see the hard disk and then the two that we added. So we're going to select the SDA, and then other storage options. We're going to click I will configure partitioning myself, and then done. From here, we can just add mount point now. So first thing we are going to select is the boot, and then for this one, 2048M, so 2 GB for this one. And then in my case, I will be needing a lot of swap space. So I will be using 8 GB, 8 GB swap. And then you can just use default, but in my case, I needed to modify this myself. So our root should have like 80 GB, 81920M. And then I need to set my temp to 10 GB, 240M. And then that should be good. Click done, and then accept changes. Okay, next thing that we're going to do is click the network and host name. So the ENP0S3 will be our NAT. Let's just make sure that it is enabled, and for this one as well. And then we can click configure for the ENP0S8, and then just go in the IPv4 settings, and for the method, click manual, and then add our IP address. We're going to be using 192.168.56.101. Net mask is 255.255.255.0. For the gateway, we're going to use 168.56.1. And DNS server, we can also use 192.168.56.1. And then click save. And then for the host name, let's just use OL7 and then apply, and then done. Okay, so next step is to click the begin installation. While the installation progress is ongoing, we can go ahead and set a root password. I'll be just going to use Oracle here. Then there will be a warning. Just click done twice, and then user creation, Marvin. So Mprudente, make this an administrator for the password. I'll just use Oracle, and then done. So, we are now going to wait for the installation progress to be completed. Okay, so the installation progress is now completed. By the way, if you want to go to your host machine, you need to press Control, right Control in order to go to your host. And then if you want to go back to your VM again, just click inside. And we are going to fix that later by installing the guest addition CD image. But for now, let's reboot our operating system. And then we can just go ahead and select the Oracle Linux Server 7.9 Unbreakable Enterprise Kernel 5.4.17. And then we're going to log in as root user. Okay, so for the license information, just click it and then accept the license agreement and then click done. And our network and host name was already updated earlier, so we just need to click the finish configuration. And then for this one, this is our admin user. What we need to do is click not listed and then go ahead and enter the root credentials, sign in. So we are logged in as a privileged user. So for this one, let's just select English and then next. Let's turn this off. Next, skip, and then start using Oracle Linux Server. So from here, right control and then click the device and then insert guest additions CD image. We are going to install it manually. So for this message, just click cancel. You can run it, but in our case, we're just going to run it manually. So click applications, system tools, and then terminal. From here, let's go to run media, root, and then VirtualBox, guest additions, LSLRTH. Then we're going to run the VBox Linux additions that run. So copy, then paste, and then enter. After this, we should be able to maximize our operating system and go to our host machine without clicking the right control button. It's now done. Let's try to maximize our Linux OS. So we can now go in our uh, host machine. And then next step is to uh, preferences. And then for the color, I'll not use the default one, white on black. I prefer this one. And then what we need to do next is to update the SE Linux config. So that would be vi etc SE Linux config. And then instead of enforcing, we should be using permissive. So WQ exclamation, so we can uh, make sure that it is updated. That minus 3. So SE Linux is now permissive. And then what we need to do is, what we want to do is disable and stop the firewall. So system CTL status firewall. So it's currently active running. So we need to stop it. Stop. And then if you check the status, it's now inactive, dead. And then disable it. Disable. So next thing to do is to check the SSHD service. system.ctl status sshttp, let's service. So it's running, but just to make sure we can go ahead and enable and start it. So if we check the status, it will be active running. And then next thing to do is check the CAT, etc. host name. So it's OL7. Then next thing to do is uh, VI, etc. host and put an entry of our host name and IP address. So 192.168.56.101 OL7, then OL7 dot local domain. Save that one, and then let's go ahead and check the network. So that the TNPO S3 is connected, but the 8S8 is not connected currently. So what we need to do is click the on button, and then click this one to double check our IP address, and then connect automatically. Apply. So just like here, it is connecting automatically. So if we restart our operating system, it should be enabled both of them. And then if we go ahead and check if config, and then we can see that the IP is now reflected here. That way we should be able, sorry, go to your host machine, open a open a command prompt. We should be able to ping it now, 192.168.56.101. So we can ping the Linux server now, and then we should be able to 192.168.156.101. We should be able to connect using PATI. So accept, connect as root, credential. So there you go. Hostname, and then if config. So there you go. And in my case, I need to install the RPMs for the Oracle Database 19c. So what I can do is yum install -y Oracle Database pre-install 19c. And then the command to update all the packages is yum update -y. So for this one, these are installed. So next thing we can do is yum update -y. This will take some time to finish, but as you guys can see, all of this will be updated. So we're going to update 866 packages. I'll just post the video and return once all of these are updated. Okay, so yum install is now completed. So the packages is now updated. Because we ran the Oracle database pre-install, this will create an Oracle user. Uh, we can go ahead and update the password. Oracle, Oracle. And then what we can do is add uh, a group. So add group VirtualBox SF Oracle. This will add the groups to Oracle. This one, because all files in Media Installer is owned by VBox SF Group. This means that Oracle will now be able to read and execute these files. And then if we check the dev SD. This A is the first hard disk that we created, and then the B and the C are the two 100 GB disks that we added. So what we can do is we can format this and mount it to our folders. Like for example, if we want to create, we wanted to create U01, I mean U02 and U03, and then mount the formatted disk of these to this one to two and this one to three. We can do that. And then what else can we do? So basically, we already installed the Oracle Linux 7 operating system, and it's now ready for us if we want to install any application to this operating system. So next thing we can do is shut down zero, shut down our operating system and then create a snapshot. That way, we can go back and um, load it because the snapshot is like a save point where we can clone that specific snapshot, or we can go back if we wanted to try other things. So right here, snapshot. So this is the detailed snapshot. We can create a new one. So we can press OS install for the name and then tick. So right now, if we perform any changes, we installed any application and we want to go back and load the fresh OS install, we can do that now. So that's all for our video. If you have any questions, let me know in the comment section below. Thank you guys for watching. Bye-bye.